version of the play.
Relatively smaller budget than most Hollywood films, I would say.
Relatively, yes.
How important was it for you guys to, with the limited budget you have, to tell the story? And I'd really like to hear from the actor's point of view too.
Sure.
What was the most important thing, for you telling the story, it's not a Hollywood film, so you've got a smaller budget. Maybe just give us an idea from your perspective, how the characters came to be and what you really felt was the most important part of the film.
I'm going to hand it over to you. I'll let you start.
I think that for me, I actually wasn't going to play the lead role at first. We had another actress, and then she had to drop out, and that's not a part that I ever get to play. I don't usually get to play the lead. I always play somebody's best friend, and so I don't usually get a whole arc. You get sort of, you get swatches of me. So it was thrilling, and the writing is so fine that it inspires you to be as good as you can be. So it seemed like not work. Plus, Adam and I we've only known each other 2.5 years or something, but you'd think that we'd known each other all our lives. We used to kid ourselves. We were like Powell and Loy, only not as good. And we had this banter, and it was fantastic and easy. But what was it like for you guys, since you actually had already done the play? Was it old hat, or is it what gives, man?
Yeah, man. It was a little old hat. It was like the first thing I ever auditioned for when I moved to LA, and I submitted myself in Backstage West. I had no agent eons ago. And so it was fun because there was already an established chemistry between Patty and I, having done it on stage, and of course between Adam and myself, from having worked together and then maintaining a friendship over the years and learning to both love and hate each other. Made it very cozy on the set.
My friend, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Love.
How long was it between the play and when you did the film?
Well, Yeardley.
I'm just going to let you hold it.
So bossy.
And I think it was, what was it, Adam, like 4 years, 5 years?
I think we first did the play in 2003 and did the movie in 2007, so about 4 years between the stage version and the movie version.
Patty?
There's no question.
I agree. 4 years.
I'll take that back.
Please, go.
What was for you guys? What was the everyone always talks about how great it is doing films, and especially with a low budget film. I guess what I was trying to get at as well is, what was the hardest thing for you guys as a cast and with your director and writer to come together? What was the hardest thing for you guys to do? Is there a particular scene, or was really, was it based on, because we see a few independent films here at this festival, right? Right. Yeah, we see a few of them. There's a lot of constraints artistically.
From my perspective, we had no time to rehearse. Pat and I and Zibby were well rehearsed, almost too well rehearsed, because we had done the play for so many months. But in terms of shooting the scenes and being able to block the scenes, we didn't have a lot of rehearsal and we didn't have a lot of time. So there are scenes where we're shooting out on the patio, where we're racing to get done because we have to be out of this house that we're shooting at, and the neighbors are upset, and it's loud, and we're shooting 10 pages of dialogue a day. And so there are times where you see a camera angle and think, oh my God, I hate that camera angle, it's so ugly, why did I shoot it like that? Well, you shot it like that because you were racing around just trying to get everything finished. So that for me, I think, is probably the hardest part. And also the Shakespeare stuff. There was actually a lot more Shakespeare stuff in the play and in the original version of the movie. We cut a lot of it out because it just didn't, for me, it just didn't quite work for the film. And it made, of course, the movie was, 2 hours long, it was endless. But it just, something like that where it works on stage, and maybe if you had a lot of time to make it work with film, but if you're just racing around going really fast, you find out later, yeah, it doesn't work so much. Got to cut it out.
And that's actually, as from a filmmaking standpoint, you have to be able to make those decisions because they're for the audience, for them to really get in with it. From an actor standpoint, and I'd love to be able to just hear from each of you real quick. What was your favorite thing about working on the film? Just your favorite memory, favorite scene? When you look back fondly, an hour from now on this experience?
The whole thing from soup to nuts was really my favorite part. I felt like it was important to support my friend Adam, who'd written something really good that spoke to me, that surprised me at the end. Like, he's such a big old grump. And the fact that his character actually asked Caitlin to marry him, completely, oh, we gotta make this, because nobody's gonna see that coming. I didn't anyway.
I
And
just thought I was
so,
selling out, so, you know.
I know, Adam calls it selling out, I call it romantic. And so and I never produced anything before, executive produced anything before. Christy did all the work. I just sort of went around going, there are only solutions, there are only solutions. But when the cops came to the door because the neighbors were complaining, Christy fended them off. Christy paid off the gardeners who were there with the weed blowers. So it was, I loved it. Actually, one of the hardest things about making movies is the multitasking. So to remember your lines and hit your mark. And hitting your mark is one of the most tedious things in the world. You just like, really? I'm doing my thing here, and you're, because I'm out of the frame? Well, I mean, it's so irritating. I can't even, I'm so bad at it. So I'm the actor who always has the sandbag, so I like, I'm here, hurrah, I'm on my mark. This is so good. So that's how it is for me. Miss Zibby?
The question was, what was our favorite?
Favorite moment of the film?
The shower scene. What else? Adam was in the shower with us. We're like holding our secret parts
In
together.
my defense, I was filming it. I had the camera.
He's like
I was
with
just
the
standing
water,
there.
with the water camera standing above, then the water shooting like past his shoulder onto us. Patty's hiding his secret parts. I'm hiding my secret parts.
But
And
it was freezing cold. It was like
it was
you couldn't
cold
use
water.
hot water
yeah, because of the steam.
Because it was
because you steam up.
Oh, no.
That was
It
a
was like
blast.
this cold in there.
It was my favorite.
For both,
Patty. But
both of us.
it was very respectful. You forgive me if I do and forgive me if I don't grow.
That's right.
It was like, what do you do in that situation? But all in all,
Go on.
yes, please. It was wonderful to work with such a solid cast. I mean, we were like a family for a month or so, and
18 days.
a month. Come on, numbers, schmumbers. No, but it felt, it felt like a really safe and fun environment, and there was never a day when we weren't cracking each other up constantly, which was really.
So annoying to Adam because he had to be the dad, so he had to wear all these hats: writer, director, actor, and disciplinarian, which was most irritating to him.
It was no fun for the first time ever, and we were like, yeah. But it was just a great experience.
I think I was a delight.
Favorite memory? Favorite part?
My favorite part about being on set, and you guys have heard me say this, is the moment we do room tone, where there's just silence. It's the craziest thing. Like I have awesome, great memories with
Explain
everything.
what that means.
Well,
Yeah, explain,
your work, especially on a micro budget and a small crew, and we're in this house, and there's neighbors complaining, and some even because of some of the dialogue that I had. In the morning you'd show up and the neighbors would be like, "Are you guys shooting a porn?" Honestly, they thought we were. So we're like, "No, it's not a porn. It's a comedy and all these things." But the moment on set where they have to get room tone, which is everybody hold, and we're going to get some sound of just what the neighborhood sounds are, which might be a door or the occasional airplane or car or whatever, and everybody is still. There's just this moment of silence, this minute and a half of silence. To me, I have these images of that's the first time where we're all just sort of sitting and being still. So those are my favorite moments on set. Is that deep?
Very esoteric.
Is it really?
It really is, yeah.
Esoteric, yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that, Paul? I don't.
My favorite thing is such craft service, so I.
That was good too.
food.
We had some good chicken. How about you?
My favorite part?
Yeah.
Favorite part?
When
Saying
the
it's a
cops
wrap.
came.
The martini shot? Martini shot's my favorite part.
Which is the last shot of the film.
Which
Last
is
shot
the
of
last
it,
shot
yeah.
of the film. No, it was exciting, just getting through it, and
She was the
Yardley-
exhausted one that had to find herself a location.
Yardley was a great support. It was wonderful to work with such a wonderful executive producer who supported us all through everything, and it was awesome. Yeah. The quiet part, I remember it wasn't so quiet though on our side.
And room tone took a while. There was so much traffic and,
Helicopters, airplanes, cars.
And then the construction that was going
That's
on
right.
next door.
Yeah.
So we would literally we would have a scene, there's nothing but gobbing off in this movie, right? Yak, yak, yak. We would do 3 lines, hold for the saw.
I think we all ended up together making gift baskets for all the neighbors.
We
so
did,
that, yeah.
and the damn thing was is that you try to get your, whatever your problem is, you invite them over for a meal. You say, come with us. We want to welcome you to what we're doing, and hopefully we can work this out. Those construction guys next door, they would not do it.
No.
And we had cupcakes, man, and they would not come.
Those were good cupcakes.
Really good.
Really good cupcakes.
Oh, it was so brutal. So we literally would do 3 lines, hold for the saw, pick up where we left off, do 2 more lines, hold for the saw. And the fact that we were able to cut anything together is sort of miraculous.
And that was your favorite part.
I thought I can't worry because everybody else is worrying. So even if I am worried, I'm not worried. It'll all work out. There's some sort of perfect order in this. It was very, very frustrating though if you were in the scene.
And there's sawing going on.
Yeah.
And you're having a brilliant moment.
Yeah.
And then you have to hold for like
oh,
the chainsaw.
it's brutal.
Who's got some questions? I want to hear some questions. You've had some time to digest the film intellectually and emotionally, I hope. Here we go.
First off, I thought it was a great film. I thought the writing was tremendous. And as far as, I really enjoyed the choice to, insert all the Hamlet stuff.
God bless you, sir.
So I was wondering, in the writing process, when you're writing the play, was that something that you had decided to do early on, or was it something that just kind of grew out of?
I actually think I did that out of desperation when I was writing the play. The play had been called Waiting for Ophelia, and her character, his name was Ophelia, and I had just written myself into a corner, and I could not figure out where to go. And I got myself a hotel room on the beach in Santa Barbara for like a week, and locked myself in the room and said I wasn't going to come out until I'd finished it. And I just sat there, and I actually walked across to the beach, and that scene that happened on the beach actually did happen to me. The family was there sitting on the beach. And I, to this day, have no idea what they were actually saying. I just sort of made that up. But I thought, I have an ending, And I went back, I finished the play, and it was about 40 pages long. I was like, I need more material. And I just racked my brain, and that's when it hit me to sort of insert
So you
the
stole.
Shakespeare stuff. So I stole from Shakespeare. At least I steal from the best, you know what I mean? And that's great that you recognize that they were all the bits were from Hamlet. And there were, like I said, in the play and in the original cut of the movie, there were actually a lot more of them. We figure we'll use them as, DVD extras, maybe. We even gave the pizza guy some Shakespeare to do. Like we did a lot of it.
Who else has a question? Well, here we go.
Really like the movie, would love to see it in a play form. Are you planning to restage it at any point?
That's a great question. We don't have any plans now, but I think it'd be a great way to publicize the movie is to go on tour with the play. So I'm going to offer you guys all that right now. I want you all to come on tour with me with the play. You can see the enthusiasm.
I have to talk to my agent.
Adam, a question. Between the stage play and the motion picture, were there a number of compromises that you felt that you had to make as a writer director to make it work, to make the material work?
Oddly enough, not until we got into the editing room, because we pretty much shot the play. Except for the 20 minutes that opens the movie, where we set up all the characters and we go to the prison and we go to the office where he's making his pitch, or we go to the office where I'm doing my speech. That stuff wasn't in the play. We did that so that we could open up the movie a little bit and set up the characters more. Other than that, we pretty much shot the play as is, and we really didn't have to make any compromises until the editing room, and I realized that there were things that I had to cut. And that was a lot harder for me, because you sort of have to, there's a lot of material that I loved, good jokes that I thought were like big laughs, but they had to go because the movie was too long, or they just didn't work, or they were self-indulgent, and it just had to hack them away and just sort of kill your darlings.
Yeah. Who else has got a question for any of the actors or for Adam? Or you're such a quiet crowd. It's only like what, 9:30?
Well, there's a lot of drinking to be done at that
There's a
little
lot of
party
drinking.
thing out there, so.
So what's next with the film, Adam? Where are we going to see this film
Well, like you
next?
said, this was our world premiere tonight, and thank you very much for programming us and giving us our world premiere.
Well, we appreciate great
And-
films and great filmmakers.
I do absolutely want to thank Chris and Greg and Jason for just putting together such an unbelievably phenomenal, classy event. Like, you guys are amazing, and it's been a really terrific couple of days, so thank you very much. for
Thank
that.
you.
And so hopefully there will be more stops on the festival circuit that we can move on and program in some festivals that don't mind that we played here first.
Okay.
And sort of see, let that run its course, and then hopefully a cable deal or a home video deal. Or,
Do you guys know you have a website set up? Do we have? Have you
I
started?
have a Facebook page because I'm a 14-year-old girl.
Yes. Oddly enough, I am also a 14-year-old girl.
Okay, that's
Yes.
perfect. We do have a Facebook page. If you happen to be on Facebook and you type in "Waiting for Ophelia," there's a group that you can join, and that we're going to keep putting updates and news and, about the movie.
And you can also on Internet Movie Database.
Correct.
You can go on to, if you're familiar with the Internet Movie Database, imdb.com. The movie's listed.
This movie is listed.
You can go on and grade the film, and if you love it, grade it high, right? We like
Absolutely,
10s.
like 5 stars, something like that.
It's up to 10, and then you can write reviews.
10, not 5.
Yeah, 10 is better.
You know what? I like to be fair. Just give it 5.
5 says no distribution, 10 says lots of distribution.
Make it
Go for the 10, yes. This is how you support independent film. I mean, and this is just a sweet little film that I think that if you're still here, that you really like. And the most important thing about independent film is that the biggest form of marketing is word of mouth. I'm sure you all know that. And it's all about telling one person who tells another person. And with the internet, you've got the ability to tell everyone how much you like this movie. And so from a film festival perspective, that's how you get movies like this out to the world. We want to do everything we can to get this movie out more. So go online, tell your friends, and let's help you get your movie out to the world through some
I
great
appreciate
distribution.
that, sir.
All right?
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And you guys will be over at the party lounge.
We will be over at the party lounge.
So if you have some
so-
individual questions, we're